Such a tyrant. He has killed 9 eunuchs in a row. Ever since half a year ago, the emperor's temperament has changed drastically. I don't know what kind of sin he has committed. SH. Don't say anything. Eunuch Zhao is coming. I wonder which poor little eunuch will be unlucky tonight. In the imperial palace of the Great Xia dynasty, in front of the Yongxin Hall, 18 eunuchs and palace maids lined up on both sides of the road. Everyone's eyes were constantly glancing at the comer on the bluestone road. And this comer. He was the unlucky guy and little eunuch in their mouths. Mingju, eunuch Ming. Mingju, you are the last eunuch in the palace who is proficient in medicine. We have put all our hopes on you. Don't let us down. Eunuch Zhao patted Mingju's shoulder lightly and said earnestly. Don't worry. Mingju's face was black and he responded with tears in his eyes. His mood was now a mess. Half a year ago, Mingju transmigrated from Blue Star to this world. When he arrived, he became a eunuch and cursed the damn heavens for a long time. But when he touched it carefully, he found that his thing was still there. However, Mingju did not inherit the memory of his previous life. He didn't know why his root was still between his legs as an eunuch. Fortunately, no one doubted or asked about it. Mingju didn't make a fuss about it, but started to learn about this world from scratch. And through the Chinese medicine skills inherited from his previous life, he rose from an eunuch without rank or official position to a 9th rank imperial physician eunuch with rank and salary. He thought he had a bright future ahead of him. But what made Mingju depressed was that he hadn't enjoyed his good days for long before fate pushed him to the edge of hell again to treat the tyrannical Great Xia Emperor. He had killed 9 imperial physician eunuchs in 9 days. How could he dare to say that he wasn't the next cold corpse? But things had come to this point. If he didn't go to treat him, the emperor would kill him for sure. If he went to treat him, there was still a 1 in 10 million chance of survival. Damn it. Mingju clenched his teeth and muttered inwardly, you want me to die, but I will live to show you. Alright, eunuch Ming. You go ahead, His Majesty only gave half an hour tonight. If you delay, you will be beheaded directly. Eunuch Zhao said to Mingju with bitter advice. Hearing this, Mingju didn't roll his eyes anymore. He just bowed deeply to the people behind him. Then, he walked into the Yongxin Hall with a determination to survive from death. Splash! Splash splash! As soon as he entered the hall, sparse water sounds came from all directions. There was no bright fire in the Yongxin Hall. Only oil lamps were placed on the ground every few steps, forming an invisible path. Your Majesty? Are you there? I am the little eunuch who was ordered to treat you. Mingju suppressed the anxiety in his heart and shouted at the dark T-shaped intersection. But what he got in return was only endless silence. Damn it! Mingju cursed in his heart to boost his morale. Seeing no one responded, he followed the oil lamp path and walked towards the dark T-shaped intersection. The deeper he went, the fewer lamps there were. Until he reached the end, it was pitch black. Your Majesty! I am the little eunuch who was ordered to treat you, are you there? Mingju continued to shout at the extremely dark alleyway. But the next second, 2 cold blades came out from the darkness and directly pressed against his neck. Mingju subconsciously covered his waist pouch with medicine and begged, Good man. I'm just here to treat you. I don't know anything. Can you spare me a life? I'm just a 9th rank little eunuch, my life is worthless. Shut up. The man withdrew the 2 blades from Mingju's neck and said in a low voice, Close your eyes and follow me. Before Mingju could react, he was dragged into a room with heavy water vapor in extreme fear. Splash! Splash splash! The water sound was constant. This should be the source of the water sound when he entered the door. Mingju swallowed and asked reluctantly, Good man, can I open my eyes now? Open! Kneel! Thump! Mingju obediently knelt on the ground. The water that overflowed from the surroundings soaked his knees. What are you here for? A soft voice asked. I am the 9th rank imperial physician eunuch Mingju, who was ordered to treat you and cure your illness. After saying that, Mingju opened his eyes and looked. The person who asked the question was walking out of the bathtub, passing behind the screen, wearing a 9-clawed golden dragon robe, and lying on the wooden bed in the side room. Wait. 9-clawed golden dragon robe. This person is the Great Xia Emperor, Yang Xian. Your Majesty. The slave is really here to treat you. Hearing that you are ill, the slave can't sleep day and night. Mingju turned his knees and knelt towards the wooden bed. You are quite clever as a little eunuch. Since you are here to treat me, hurry up. If you can't finish it in half an hour, I will send you to see your 9 predecessors. After saying that, Mingju quickly pulled his waist pouch to his hand. He knelt on the ground with his knees and moved to the side of the wooden bed with his knees. Please let your Majesty give your right hand to the slave. The slave needs to check your illness. Yang Xian didn't say anything, but just lifted his right hand on the bed. Mingju saw this and quickly held Yang Xian's wrist. As soon as the two touched, the delicate and smooth feeling of Yang Xian shocked Mingju. But he didn't think too much. He started to take his pulse. But this pulse. There was a problem again. WTF? Why is the pulse of the Great Xia Emperor so soft and feminine? And the disease that this pulse shows is clearly menstrual disorder. Mingju was a bit stunned. He wanted to sneak a peek at young Xian's face, but in such a dark environment, he could only see the outline of young Xian's body at best, let alone the details of his facial features. So, how should he treat this disease? According to the pulse? Mingju pondered for a moment and took out all the 36 silver needles from his medicine pouch. He would treat it according to the pulse. Emperors have always been extraordinary. Having menstrual disorder is also a kind of extraordinary. This world is not a world of ordinary people, so this explanation is very reasonable. Your Majesty, the slave has found out the cause of your illness. Can you take off your dragon robe and let the slave give you acupuncture treatment? Mingju held the 36 silver needles in his hand. He bowed his head to the ground and asked humbly. Bang! Young Xian suddenly got up. He slowly lifted Mingju's chin. He didn't wear any clothes to cover his body. You did a good job, but I still have to kill you. In view of your outstanding performance, I will let you leave a last word. Young Xian said lightly with a fragrant breath. Your Majesty, the slave doesn't want to die. The slave is just here to treat you. I don't know how I offended you. Please spare me this life. Mingju knelt on the ground and begged without knowing why. Hee. Young Xian sneered and then lit up all the lamps in the Yongxin Hall. Under the illumination of the lamps, young Xian's curvy figure and full and fair body were exposed. The face that was full of vigor but still had a sense of beauty slowly approached Mingju's eyes. Eunuch Ming, you can cure my minor illness, which means you already know my secret. Today you have seen my body, at least you will die knowing why. As an eunuch, it is also a regretless life. Young Xian slowly put on his golden dragon robe, walked to the weapon rack, drew out a sword, and glared coldly. No, Your Majesty, I will never tell anyone. I have always been tight-lipped since I was a child. Mingju bowed his head repeatedly, like pounding garlic on the ground. Only dead people will keep their mouths shut forever. Eunuch Ming, I have no choice. Young Xian attacked with his sword. At the critical moment, Mingju had an idea and suddenly got up and pulled down his pants. Your Majesty, I will never tell anyone, because I also have a secret that will cost me my life if I tell. Young Xian was slightly stunned. He looked steeply towards the area between Ming Ding's two strands. A guy who seemed like a small arm appeared. Just a glance. The Emperor of Dexia, who was still full of murderous spirit, was shocked out of his hand. He was shocked to drop his sword in his hand. Hurriedly covered his eyes. The two cheeks were immediately covered in redness. The petulant gas said, Ming decision, you eunuch, on the verge of death, even dare to use this filth to insult my eyes. See if I don't chop that thing off of you and feed it to the dogs later. No, Your Majesty. Ming Di carefully explained, Your Majesty, in fact, Slave is a fake eunuch who has not been purified. The reason why Slave took off his pants is to prove that I still have balls. At those words, young Xian subconsciously tightened the golden dragon robe wrapped around his body. A small slit was gradually left between two fingers. Following Ming Di's words, he once again looked towards that filth. It didn't matter if he looked at it this time, only just now, he was still bowing his head, but at this moment, he even raised his head. Ming Dui, you dog slave. Not yet purified body dare to enter the palace to come. I order you to lower your head. Don't look at me. Ming Di obediently lowered his head and closed his eyes tightly. Not this head. That head is also lowered. You put your pants on and sit on the edge of the bed to talk. Young Xian manipulated her petulant voice and roared angrily. Mingju, on the other hand, resentfully lifted his pants. Pacing to the bedside, he sat down. With his hands in an arching position, he said in a deep voice, Your Majesty, leave the slave's life, the slave will definitely be useful. Young Xian let out a long breath, the blush on her face instantly disappearing. Then he calmly and rationally said, leaving aside whether your life is useful or not, I want to ask you a question first. Please ask, Your Majesty, I will know everything. Hearing young Xian say this, Ming Di immediately came into the spirit. He who was familiar with ancient TV dramas knew very well. If the emperor was hesitant, then the probability of one's life being alive was mostly higher. As long as he answered the questions well and coaxed the emperor, then this little life of his would be able to survive. I ask you, as a man, when you acted in this harem, did you ever have evil thoughts about the 3,000 concubines in that harem? Young Xian said with a cold look. I don't dare. Ming Di defied the archguard and said, I'm just a eunuch, I don't dare to have the slightest thought about the ladies. That harem amongst the absolute 7 noble concubines and the 3 fairies of the sect, even a woman like me would want to toy with them when I look at them. You a eunuch who has never tasted meat, can't you be more noble than me? Young Xian laughed coldly and inserted the sword in his hand back into its scabbard. Your Majesty forgive me. The slave did have a heart for the concubines in the harem. However, I am well aware of my lowly status. He only dared to masturbate, he never acted rudely. Ming Di knelt on the ground and gave a full account. At this time, it was easier to live by telling the truth than telling lies. Get up. Young Xian sat on top of the dragon chair, faintly said, Your information I have read, only 20 years old, Hedong people, no father, no mother, there is still a little sister in the family, is not pro-life, into the palace for 3 years, has not yet meritorious achievements, no party, no faction, and a good person. These can be right? Right. Ming-Di got up and arched his hand, his eyes firmly said. Very good. Young Xian danced her white thighs and said softly, I may spare your life. How? Crap? Spare my life? Ming-Ji's legs went soft, and he immediately knelt down and thanked, Slave kowtow to your majesty's great favor. Hey, Young Xian evil smile, waved his hand, Eunuch Ming, don't be anxious spare your life is not spared for nothing, you have just seen my body, I should not also dig your pair of strokes as a rule digging eyeballs? Ming-Di was first stunned. After thinking for a moment, his heart crossed. Then he arched his hands and said, Your Majesty, you dig. Exchanging a pair of becks for a life. No matter how one thought about it, it was cost-effective. As the saying goes, is there no fear of not having wood to burn when you leave a green mountain behind? Ha ha ha. Young Xian laughed disdainfully and shook his head, Eunuch Ming, you really know what you're doing, but I can show you a clear path. Both can save your little life, but also can save your strokes. Are you willing to listen? Hiss. Ming-Ji fiercely sucked in a mouthful of cool air. Up to here, he could sort of see the point. This woman, Young Xian, was completely setting herself up. This step by step, it was simply seamless. Obviously, she was trying to get herself to work for her. But he was just a eunuch who had not yet become a martial artist. What can he do? Can't he be a human bomb? It's just a matter of going along with her and saving this life first. I am willing to hear about it, so please take the trouble, Your Majesty. Ming-Ji archly said. You go and help me, round up with that harem of 3,000 concubines. Young Xian said indifferently. Round up with the concubines? Ming-Di was slightly stunned and said quietly, Your Majesty. Why are you doing this? Hearing this, Young Xian did not hide much. Instead, he told the whole story. I am the only daughter of the late Emperor of Daxia, and I have been trained as a king since I was a child. But this full of civil and military, the people of the dawn, cannot see a woman as the emperor. Therefore, the late emperor also had to help me hide his gender. But 2 years ago, the demise of the late emperor, I am in danger of being appointed, Daxia national body turmoil, internal and external problems. I rely on my own strength, with the emperor's technique, leveling the uprising, shock riots. I thought that from now on the Xia dynasty can be safe, but did not think. Months ago, a eunuch broke the secret that I am a daughter body. Since then, gossip has arisen, the dynasty of civil and military all up suspicion of the heart. There are wolves and sycophants, want to take this opportunity to seize my power. I have been on the throne for 3 years, the consort has not less established, but has never been with a person round room. If you can for me and the concubine round room, we'll be able to break this 100 officials' jealousy. This is not only for the sake of me, but also for the sake of the great Xia's mountains and the countryside words. There was already a generalization in Ming determination. In the inner sanctum of the Daxia palace, no man with a handle was allowed to appear. Now the emperor's identity also sat as a daughter. As a false eunuch himself, perhaps this deep palace compound, the only one who can perform the room. In that case, Young Xian is really want to let himself to sleep serve that harem 3,000 concubines. After all, only by completely snuffing out the rumors of shaking the throne could she continue to weigh this world. However, Your Majesty, there is still one thing that my slave does not know, may I dare to ask? Knowing the importance of his role, Ming-Di was emboldened to open his mouth and ask after him. But there is no harm in speaking. Young Xian flicked his sleeve and signaled. The fate of the country is related to the foundation of the country. Since the 100 officials are suspicious, then we should start with the most prestigious officials to break it. Just rounding up with the consort, although the rumor is broken, but the hearts of the 100 officials have not been solved, so what's the use? After hearing these words from Ming-Di, a few moments of shock flashed through Young Xian's eyes. Immediately, it turned from shock to appreciation. What Eunuch Ming said is not unreasonable, but the majority of the officials in this court are all partisans of Chancellor and Shanluo. The only way to stabilize the old thief and Shanlu, the suspicion of the officials in the court, can be alleviated. His rebellious intentions are already clear. Only by sleeping with the Prime Minister's daughter, and Qiu Yue, whom he regards as his heart's flesh, can I free my hands to clean up this mess. Sleep. Prime Minister's daughter. An incomparably shocked expression appeared on Ming-Di's face. He knew very well that the current Chancellor and Shanluo was a great powerhouse with a notorious anti-heart. Of the 36 feudal towns in Grand Xia, 14 of them were under his control. He knew better how vicious and ferocious the old thief and's methods were. Rounding up with his beloved daughter, it can't be easy, but instead of being beheaded for no apparent reason, it would be better to go deep into the harem and have a good exchange with these concubines. At least, if he could die under the peony group, he could be a flirt. Mingji clenched his teeth and rose his hand to arch his hand in defense. Your servant is willing to relieve your majesty's worries and go through fire and water without hesitation.